I'm super grateful to work in a place where I have now a full line of knowledge with the spirits, but then can bring that into the cocktail side.
Yeah.
And each menu like feels like you're releasing an album. Like it's very, the parallels of that has been like, that was comforting coming into doing something I'd never done before.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun, like coming into like.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
That's
like,
cool. It's Asbury Park. It's like a good way to tie it all together, you know?
Then you, like when the menu drops, like then you go on tour for 9 months. And by the end of it, you're like, I'm sick of playing these songs.
Yeah, and you got to freshen up.
But I really like these 3, so I'll play them again.
Yeah. And then we literally did.
Favorites, that's the encore.
The first menu back was, it was the Shut Up and Play the Hits menu.
It was.
Like, I didn't want to recycle drinks for so long because I was stubborn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, after menu 6, there's only so many juices you can use.
Exactly.
So it's like cool to revisit old tracks, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I'm talking about like it's an album drop.
No, it's like perfect. It makes so much sense.
It
But
works
like
totally.
we were talking about like how to approach it because like you get burnt out trying to like force flavors into things.
Right.
So I was like, we were talking to the team the other day, like let's focus on like the season, like maybe look at it as like a palette. Like that would be like the starter. Like let's look at like
that's what I was going to ask. Like
colors.
does it change like for the season? Like summertime, it's going to be different than if you come, today.
Yeah, like rarely anymore is it like coming from. It's a lot of times like there's a flavor I want, but you don't know what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
But like this one, it's like let's look at like a color scheme or and not like necessarily make the drinks that color, but like kind of use that as a
design inspiration.
Yeah.
Inspiration, and then and there's no set. We don't have like April 15th, June 15th, September 15th.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when we feel like it, or if it feels stale, we'll pull some stuff and throw some stuff on.
Yeah,
and then it's cool to be able to work with Bill. Like if there's something we want to do, like I've gotten to wave a little mini still back there. We got to work on like little UDVs or like not brandies, but little flavored spirits just to use up here. But then it's cool because if someone likes it, then we can actually look at the idea of putting it
how
into
to make it big scale, large scale.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible test market for us. For example, the limoncello that you have had taste of.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure how this was going to go in the market. There's a lot of them out there. This one's vastly different than most of them.
Right.
And Casey and Bill can talk about why. But what we do is we bring products out here. We put them on our shelf. If they fly off our shelf here, then we have it's instant R&D, right?
Yeah.
We have a test market, so that's been really, really cool. We're actually releasing, as Bill talked about, we're going to be releasing a Clemencello, which is a Clementine version of the Limoncello.
Yeah.
We'll test it here.
Yeah.
We'll see how it does.
Right.
If it does well, then we'll put it out to market.
Awesome. Yeah. Talk to me also about, like, you mentioned greatest hits. What are the greatest hits? Like, what do you see people coming in here and ordering the most over the time that you've been here?
We've had, right now there's 3 drinks in the menu that we've had since, minus the gin and tonic, because that's just always going to be there.
Yeah.
But breakfast, which is like a vodka, cold brew, and horchata, has been on there since day one, essentially. John Bouchon, which is a rooibos infused bourbon, lemon juice, and barrel finished gin. And then the number 67, which was actually one of the first bar manager here, is his I think it was the second drink that he made.
Yeah.
And those 3 have been on the menu since, a year.
Yeah.
Year 2.
Yeah.
No matter how many new menus we come out with, those 3 are always in the top 3, which drives me nuts.
Well, I mean, listen, there's a reason why they're in the top 3, because they're absolutely delicious.
Yeah, and then it's still
You're
cool.
trying to get better than that.
Yeah,
He wants his medal.
Right. Everybody around here's got medals. Casey needs a medal.
When the Bouchon was taken off the menu for like one thing, everybody came in here and was like,
People got
mad.
Yeah.
We had a vodka cranberry thing, which at the time, we did a sous vide cranberry and vodka, which at the time was like kind of a new thing for us to try that method.
Yeah.
And it was just that lime juice and soda, and we just wanted to have a simple drink, and we finally took it off like last year, and like people got mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry.
Isn't that crazy too?
It's so weird. Like, why do you get that offended?
The best
by
vodka cran they've ever had. Like it was
like pressing 50 pounds of cranberries.
Which, by the way, the supposed drink of this year is going to take over the espresso martini as the Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, so, got that a lot. And lemon drops.
We may want to think about that.
Yeah.
How can we make it better?
Yeah. I love it. It's just so cool because, like, you know, you see it on the shelves, you can pick it up and get all that kind of stuff. But it's really cool to come in here and, like, every time I've interacted, whether it's with you or one of the other bartenders, it's like everyone is like always trying like different stuff. Like I remember there was like a bucket of eggs on the counter the one time, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And like he explained like why there's eggs there and like how they mix it in and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that we had first time we did an egg white cocktail. Like nobody wanted to touch it.
Yeah,
and like now people love them.
Yeah,
we have one with a whole egg in it, and people actually order it.
Yeah,
which like a year, 2 years ago they wouldn't have even like batted.
I mean, you had to be in like the best New York City cocktail bars to have egg whites in your drink, and so the people weren't accustomed to it here.
Pandemic really changed the way people view the like cocktail landscape.
Yeah,
like where someone will be talking about it, like they'll be on a date and someone's questioning why there's eggs, and you'll hear like the guy be like, "Oh, it's for like because it have froth on top." I'm like, I'm glad I didn't have to answer it. And, like I appreciate that people are doing their research, but it's nice that like now there's a care for it.
Yeah,
and especially with spirit, how it ties into spirits, like. People are interested in trying. Like aquavit was not a thing that people wanted to even talk about 2 or 3 years ago, and now like people are interested. They can't pronounce it, but they're interested.
Sure.
In it.
Things like that. They catch fire in cocktail culture. And,
right.
You know, once we hear that, we're able to then decide as a company whether we want to do it or not.
Yeah, right. Give it a shot, and like you said, you have a good like testing area here,
Absolutely.
And then you can kind of take it from there. So I think that's so cool, and just kind of like it's always cool at like especially places like this that I come to and like frequent. Then you learn like the stories behind everybody and kind of like how you got started and how your process works and like your background and all that kind of stuff. And it's so cool to learn those stories and kind of like that's the whole point of the show. So we're gonna take our. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
Please,
I mean, that also helps us too because someone like yourself, you come in here and you don't walk out and you're like, yeah, whatever, and maybe I'll go back.
Yeah, right.
You're probably walking out and saying, I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
And that's what we want our customers to feel.
Yeah.
And then you're taking it up to your hometown and being like looking for it and asking for it, and
right.
that's
it's become
it spreads.